Today we are starting CBSE Class 12 Biology classes. Today's topic is structure of an anther. So before entering into the topic, I'll give a small introduction about the sexual reproduction in flowering plants. So in the case of plants, they will undergo both the sexual and asexual method of reproduction. So the methods, the reproduction in plants is of two types. Okay, so what are the two methods of reproduction? That is actually the sexual reproductive method and asexual reproductive method. In the case of plants, the asexual method is also called vegetative reproductive method. It is also called a vegetative reproductive method. So from vegetative parts like stem, root, leaf, etc., they can produce the offspring. So these are the vegetative method of reproduction. So I'm not going to detail into this particular topic, but today's topic it is actually the sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Whether all the plants will undergo sexual reproduction? No, only angiosperms will undergo the sexual reproduction. Correct? Then what are the major site of sexual reproduction? Actually, the flowers are the major site that everybody knows. So before entering into the structure of an anther, now we should know a typical structure of a flower. So a flower structure has major two parts, that is androecium and gynoecium. These are the two sexual typical flower sexual parts. Correct? So androecium will be the male reproductive part, but gynoecium will be the female reproductive part. Correct? Now today's session it is about the anther, structure of an anther. Very important question. You will get 1 mark, 2 mark, 3 mark, and also 4-5 mark question from this part. Now coming to a typical androecium. Okay, so it consists of a lot of words of stamens. So if you are observing a typical stamen, it consists of a stalk-like structure called filament, a stalk called filament, and at the tip it is having anther. Okay, and this stalk, it is a filament. It's a filament of long and slender stalk. Okay, either it will be attaching towards the thalamus, or it may be attaching at the base of the petal. See, either it will be attaching at the base of the petal, or it will be attaching at the tip of the at the thalamus part. Which one? These are the androecium part. Now, if you are observing the anther part, this is what something very important. You will get some questions from this anther structure. A terminal typically, and it is present in the terminal position, and it's typically dithecous. This is very important. Please note down. It is bilobed and it has two theca. That's why it's called a dithecous. For example, you can see here this figure. Correct? This figure we are having two lobed structure in a filament. If you are making a cut of this particular anther, if you are observing, the structure will be like that. See, it is one lobe. Here you can see another lobe. This is another lobe. And each lobe we have two theca. Each lobe we have what? Two theca. So this is one lobe. This is one lobe, number 1. This is another lobe, number 2. So total how many lobes? 2 lobes. But each lobe we have two theca. This is actually called theca. Okay, va? So that is why it is called bilobed dithecous. And there it is bilobed dithecous. And there is a longitudinal groove is actually running lengthwise in order to separate the two theca. So in order to separate the two theca, there is a groove is actually running. Now, so this is very important. That is the structure of an androecium. If the question is asking for 5 mark, you should always write an introduction. What do you mean by androecium? And it is a male reproductive structure, and where it is present, and what is the normal morphology of the a normal morphology of a stamen and where the anther is located, then you can directly come to this particular androecium structure. Is that clear? See, the anther, it is tetragonal in shape. It is tetragonal in structure. It consists of 4 microsporangia. See here, this is what I told you. This is the anther. This is actually 2 lobule and this is 1 lobe. This is another lobe. And each lobe we have 2 theca. Here another theca. This is another theca, another theca. So total how many theca? 4 theca. 2 theca in each lobe. Correct? And if you are taking a cross section, it is like that. So here 1 lobe, this is another theca, 1, and this is another one. And they are having 4 microsporangia, and this is called what? Microsporangia. It is attached at the corners of the lobe. And each, the microsporangia develop to pollen sac. And this is actually the microsporangia. It is actually developing into the pollen sac, which consists of a lot of pollen grains, which has a lot of pollen grains. Now, androecium having 4 layers, microsporangium having 4 layers. Separator, they will ask the question, right? About the layers of, right? About the layers of the, write the layers of the microsporangium. So this kind of question also you will get for 3 mark or for 5 marks. So very important, you have to remember. A typical microsporangium is circular in outline, correct? So in this figure you can see it is actually circular in outline and it is surrounded by 4 wall layers. Surrounded by 4 wall layers. First one, it is epidermis, endothecium, middle layers, and then tapetum. These are the 4 important layers of the microsporangium. The outer 3 part, okay, these 3 parts actually providing protection. These 3 part is actually providing protection. That's the major function, providing protection and helps in the dehiscence of the anther. What do you mean by dehiscence? It has to release the pollen grains outside. So the process is called dehiscence. So once it matures, it will break and it will release all the pollen grains outside. Clear? So these are the 4 important layers. So you can see here, this is actually the epidermis, and just behind we have endothecium, and then the middle layers. These are 2 middle layers, and the last one, it is the tapetum. Tapetum is very important. This is very, very important. So these 3 layers, actually it is providing protection to the developing embryo, pollen grains. But tapetum function is a little bit different. Tapetum, major function of the tapetum, it is actually providing nourishment. It is actually the innermost layer. It provides nourishes to the developing pollen grains. And also it has some other functions that I will be discussing later. And the cells of the tapetum, it mainly contains dense cytoplasm and generally have more than 1 nucleus because it has to provide a lot of nutrition to the developing microspore, correct? So that's the reason it has dense cytoplasm. So the young anther is actually developing inside the sporogenous tissue. What do you mean by sporogenous tissue? I told you the microspore. It is actually microsporangium. It is like that, 4 diathecous. Each side we have theca. Inside we have certain cells that is called the sporogenous tissue. So this is actually called what? The sporogenous tissue. At the center, it consists of homogeneous diploid cells. Okay, you have to remember, very important. This sporogenous tissue, also called microspore mother cell. It is called what? Microspore mother cell. Mother cell, microspore mother cell. Its diploidy what? It is 2n number, that is diploid in nature. It is diploid in nature in young microsporangium. It will be 2n in number. After that only it will undergo meiosis. Then it will be converting into pollen grains. That we will be studying under microsporogenesis. Is that clear? Now, this is actually the structure of the microspore. Now, how the questions you will get for the examination. See the question number 1. Give reason why anthers or sporangium angiosperms flowers are described as dithecous. That I already told you what anthers of most of the angiosperms contain two anther lobes. That's the reason it is called a dithecous. So like two anther lobes, dithecous, bilobed and two anther. Again inside they are having two theca. That's the reason it's called a dithecous. Then the second question, an anther with malfunctioning tapetum often fails to produce viable male gametophyte. Give any reason. So tapetum, that means in the microsporangium having four layers, outermost epidermis, then inner next endodermis, then next middle layers, next is middle layers, then the innermost, which one? Then the innermost tapetum layers. Correct? This is actually the tapetum layers, and this tapetum layer is the innermost layer. What is the major function? It provides nourishment to the developing sporogenous tissue. Correct? But if it fails, okay, what will happen? It will produce viable male gametes. What is the reason? So tapetum is the microsporangial layer that provides nourishment to the developing microspore. What you have to write? It is providing nourishment to the developing microspore. In anther with malfunctioning tapetum, microspore does not get sufficient nutrition. So it will not get sufficient nutrition to produce viable male gametes that are often not produced. Clear? So this is about another question. Now coming to the functions of tapetum. This question will ask either MCQ or something related with assertion reason or something related with 2-mark question. Okay. So this is actually the function of the tapetum. Tapetum, we know that this is the innermost layer of the which one? Microsporangium. And what is the major function? First one, it nourishes the developing microspore. And another important thing, it produces lipid Lubitsch granules containing sporopollenin. Very important term, sporopollenin, that I will be discussing in another video. And also pollen kit, compactability, recognizing proteins, etc. Next, it secretes enzyme catalase. This is something very important for the separation of the microspore. So, three major functions. Number one, providing nourishment. Second one, sporopollenin production. And then catalase enzyme. What is the function of catalase enzyme? See, we know that in microsporangium, see, it will be developing inside. Correct? Once it matures, what happens? It has to be break and it has to release all the microspores outside. It has to release all the microspores outside. Correct? For the dehiscence, for the maturation and the breakage, that the particular cell layers has to be ruptured. Correct? It has to be dissolved. Who is actually performing that particular function? An enzyme called a catalase. It will help in the separation of the microspores. It will be in the tetrad form and it will helps to separate the microspores. That is about the functions of the tapetum. Now see here, like diagrammatic type of question also they will be asking. We have to label it, then we have to identify the function. In TS of a mature anther given below, identify A and B and mention their functions. See here, so we can correctly, we know that this is actually the B layer will be the tapetum. Correct? This C will be the tapetum. That is the innermost layer is the tapetum. A is inside, that is actually the sporogenous tissue. So once the question getting, what we can write? A will be the sporogenous tissue. Sporogenous tissue. Under that, what and what keywords you have to use? Sporogenous tissue, it is diploid in number in young anther. Okay, diploid in number. And once it matures, what happens? It will undergo meiosis. It will undergo meiosis and it will be converting into pollen grains. It will be converting into pollen grains. And it is also called microspore mother cell. It is also called the microspore mother cell. Mother cells. Okay, these are the keywords you have to use under A. Then coming to B, B is what number already we know that is a tapetum, which number one helps in the nourishment. Lubitsch granules are there, sporopollenin production. Then the third one, what? Catalase enzyme formation. So three functions you can write it there. So that is about the question answer. Now it's a 5-mark question. Okay, it's a 5-mark question. Write the describe the function of mature microsporangium of an angiosperm. So always for 5 mark you have to write one introduction. So how you can structure it now? Write a small introduction. Okay, small introduction about the this one, what anther and all the things where actually the microsporangium is present, everything. Then you here also you can use that particular 4-layered structure, that structure, everything. A small introduction you can provide. And then what you have, you can write then this one, see, after that what you can write, then you can write the functions of each and every layers functions. Then last what you can write, see this one, after maturation, during maturation, this will during after maturation dehiscence will occur. Okay, dehiscence will occur and it will release the pollen. So these are the points you have to write under that. See, here I have given, make a short screenshot of this page and study properly, score complete 5 mark under this heading. So thank you very much. I hope all of you clear with the structure of anther or microsporangium and layers and its functions. Thank you.